All right. It looks like your boy is live, man. What is good? What is good? What is good, everybody? Beautiful people. Of course, you know who it is, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic overdue live stream for you guys today. I sincerely hope that everybody is blessed and everybody is having such a blessed day because I know that my day has been fantastic. I appreciate everybody who's come through, everybody who was waiting in anticipation for this particular live stream. And I thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with the good doctor this evening. All right. Now, the particular topic we're going to cover today is definitely a topic that I feel that we may have touched on before, but we've never actually gone in depth with it. And I kind of feel like I want to give everybody a chance to, come up with their own numbers. But we're going to do some calculations today. So everybody get your pen and your paper out, get your little scientific calculator by Texas Instrument. Go and break all that stuff out so that we can go ahead and crunch some numbers because I want you guys to get an idea of how much you should prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines. All right. Again, we're talking about how much you should prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines. Okay. Now, this particular live stream was inspired by a young man, a fellow brethren of ours, that is making a trip to the Philippines soon. And, he's definitely on his way as we speak. So, hoping that he has a safe trip and everything like that. And I'm definitely hoping that he touched down safe. But ultimately, I feel like we should tackle this topic of how much you need to prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines because, again, money is always the determining factor. I did a video earlier today. I hope you guys enjoyed it about, how you should spend a $500 a month budget should you be given such an allowance in order to make the situation work for yourself. I mean, I do realize that that is a stretch, and anybody who can live off that kind of money is definitely pushing it. We kind of classify it as more of surviving rather than living. But again, it may be a small amount of money, but anything is possible, guys. So that's why this particular live stream is inspired by an individual who's making a trip to the Philippines now, and also based off of the video that was released for you guys today. All right. Now, in order for us to tackle this particular topic, I need to come at it from two different perspectives. Okay, there's always two different perspectives that we need to tackle every situation with. The perspective of short time trips, we'll say about a month or less, and then we have the long-term stayers, people who are looking to make the move and actually retire in the Philippines. Okay. Now, first things first, let's talk about the guys that are looking to, go to the Philippines for about a month or so, or a month or less. Okay. Those are your short time stayers. Okay. Now, if you're a short time stayer in the Philippines, first things first, make sure you get all of your assets and everything together. I mean, time out, back up. Not necessarily your assets, but make sure you take care of all your bills and all of your household shit. All right. If you can't pay your bills in advance, at least a month before you go on the trip, it's probably not in your best interest to go on and take the trip. You do realize that prepaid expenses are considered assets, right? So it is an asset when you can pay off something in advance, and whatever money you have left to work with for the month, you could definitely make sure that teamwork makes the dream work. So you could definitely make sure that that money is utilized in a way in which you want to during your time in the Philippines. Okay. Now, the one thing that you're really going to have to worry about the most, that is probably going to be your most expensive, your biggest expense, I should say, other than where you choose to stay, is buying your actual plane ticket. Now, I've talked to a bunch of guys, and everybody's like, you should buy plane tickets during this particular season. You should buy plane tickets during that particular season, just after Christmas. Oh, it's better 2 weeks before you fly out. Sometimes it's better 2 months before you fly out. But what I'm realizing about the Philippines is those tickets do not seem to be getting any cheaper. Okay. You can look on Cheapo Air, you can look on all of these, Skyscanner and all of these other sites, but most of the time, the tickets don't seem to be getting cheaper. So it does necessarily depend on where you fly out of as well. Before I came to the Philippines this time, I was looking for separate tickets. So I was trying to get a ticket to fly me to LA, and then from LA to the Philippines, because the ticket out of LA is dirt cheap. We're looking like 300, maybe $400. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, but I feel like that is the cheapest hub for any of you guys to ever consider flying out of. Chicago's pretty good. I heard about Atlanta. I've heard about Texas. The airports down there, but I've always saw online from my personal experience that flying out of LAX is the cheapest way to get to the Philippines, because I've seen ticket prices for as cheap as 200, 300, and almost 400 US dollars. And this was when I was flying only 2 months to about 2 weeks out. Those prices were never changing. At most, I saw it at like 450. Okay. So that is why I think that flying out of LAX to go to the Philippines is cheaper if you can get there. But me, because I couldn't make it to LA because the time differences between me getting my ticket and flying out of North Carolina to LAX, it just wasn't matching up. I wasn't having enough time to go through international, customs to get to my international flight through LAX. Who knows how big the airport is? And taking in consideration all of these dynamics, I just wasn't coming up with good tickets. So I basically had to fly out of Raleigh, Raleigh, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, and then I flew to New York, JFK, and then from JFK to Taiwan, Taiwan to the Philippines. All right, my ticket cost me one way was about 860, and I bought that ticket roughly about 2 weeks out. So I would personally, and it sounds like a lot. It would sounds like a lot, guys. I know you could probably find round trip tickets cheaper, but I would personally put aside at least 2,000 US dollars for a back and forth ticket. That covers everything. That covers your layovers, possible everything that you need to deal with. That 2,000 should cover your ticket price and then some. Again, my one way traveling there was 800 US. But again, I was flying out of North Carolina. If you choose to fly out of other places, that may put you into another different bracket. Okay. So now that we've talked about prepaying our expenses, we talked about possible ticket prices, preparing roughly. Again, guys, this is a rough estimate. Don't quote me exactly. Just look for the tickets during the right times, and I promise you, you'll be able to find the rates that will be the absolute most beneficial to you. Okay. So after we talked about, like I said, prepaying your bills and whatnot, and your airplane expense, we got to talk about finding a place for you to stay in the Philippines. Now, if you're going to stay for a month, please, 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 please don't spend an entire month inside of a hotel room. That will definitely dry out your budget the quickest. You understand? I did do a video about staying in cheaper hotels, the little $10 joint that they got in the Philippines. I mean, in Davao City. But again, guys, staying in those hotels for an extended period of time may not be to your benefit. There are a lot of sacrifices that you make staying in cheap hotels. So it's probably in your best interest to find you a nice little setup, probably an Airbnb, to get yourself set up. And I know that an Airbnb, on average, if you're going to stay for the entire month, I'll give you the full 30 days. An average Airbnb price is going to cost you in and around 500 US dollars a month. Okay. So now we're doing mathematics. We talked about 2,000 for a plane ticket. Yes, guys, I know that's an overstatement. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's just an overstatement. I want to make sure that you guys prepare enough. Now, you're going to be able to scale back on the numbers, of course. 2,000, you might be able to cut that in half. You may only be able to get it for 1,000. Terry says you could fly out of Chicago round trip for 750. So again, that price is going to fluctuate, okay? But I'm saying that if you are a split-second decision maker, and you need a round trip ticket, chances are it's going to cost you probably about 1,600 round trip. Okay, so I like to say 2,000 just to make sure that you're on the safe end. That's pretty much all it is for me. All right. If you're looking for Airbnbs, if you go on the website, I think on average, the average 30 days that you're going to spend in the Philippines, if you're going to take a month trip, is going to end up being roughly around 500 US dollars. And again, you can be able to find cheaper places in the Philippines. You just have to get there. You have to look around. But sometimes I know that if you are on a short vacation, 2 weeks or so, or to a month, you're not going to really worry yourself so much about trying to find a location, like walking around, going around and trying to look for a cheap place to stay, because you're not going to be there for a long time. You're just going to be there for a significant amount of time. So an Airbnb, go ahead and prep 400 to 500 US dollars. So that right there puts your number at 2,500 plus whatever you'll pay for prepaid expenses. All right. Now we got to talk about the nitty gritty. We got to talk about eating. We've got to talk about travel, transportation, the things that you choose to do. Maybe you'll travel to other islands. So you might want to buy a little plane ticket in country. Best airlines to buy plane tickets to travel in country, Air Asia. They give you the cheapest prices. That's it. I'm telling you right now, if you're flying in country and even to some other areas in Southeast Asia, I do believe that Air Asia gives you the best price. Now, there is some sacrifices. They're only allowing you to carry a total combined of about 7 kilos, I think, about 7 kilos on the plane combined of all the bags that you have. So if you're over 7 kilos, you might have to pay extra. That's all depending, but that's normal. Okay. So if you're flying in country, you'll do Air Asia flights. But again, like I said, I think I paid for a ticket from Manila to Davao. I paid 30 or $60, about $60 to travel in country from Manila to Davao when I came over to Davao from Manila for my initial flight. And that was me booking that ticket probably about a week or so in advance. So you could get you some pretty good prices flying in country. But let's talk about food. Your lifestyle is basically going to determine what everything is going on around this particular moment in time. Okay. Your lifestyle is where this starts to take hold. All right, guys. If you are a eat out type of person, if you are a Fridays, Italianis, all of these sit down restaurants that have the American themes, Outback Steakhouse, places like that, if that is your lifestyle, if that's what you like to eat, if you are a good eater, what are you going to do? You're going to go to these restaurants. You have to make sure that you plan to spend a minimum of about $20 to $25 per meal at these particular restaurants. If you're serving for two, let's say you have a little date with you and you feeling yourself and you want to trick out on another young lady, double that number. So you're looking at roughly about $50 per meal every time you go out to these expensive places, okay? $50 per meal. And I don't know if you're going to eat this every day, but I just want you to take into consideration that your Americanized places are definitely going to cost you more, probably even more than it would actually cost you to eat in the United States yourself. You realize you're paying for the brand and stuff like that. I mean, Starbucks is cheaper in the Philippines than it is in the United States, but that's another story. All right. But again, if your lifestyle is an eat out lifestyle, you're not much of a cooker, you're not much of preparing things like that, then you're probably going to have to prepare a larger budget for the food that you choose to eat. All right. But if you like to cook, you can definitely find a nearby market. Hell, the grocery store will take care of you as well. Grocery store prices, as far as vegetables and meats and stuff like that, they're not going to be as extravagant or a big difference between the market and what you can find in, like I said, inside of the supermarket. Um, I like to buy my meat. For me personally, I like to buy my meat, my poultry, whatever you want to call it. I like to buy that in the supermarket. I don't really like going to the market to buy that because it sits out all day depending on when you get it, unless you get up early in the morning and catch it as soon as they kill the dang pig and chop it up and put it on the board for you. Unless you get it early in the morning with that thing still bleeding, then you don't know how fresh the meat is. You don't know if it's meat from yesterday or not. But if it's meat from yesterday that they have in the supermarket, normally they keep it chilled, they keep it on ice, they keep it cold, so that when you get it, it's not gonna, it's not gonna give you salmonella poisoning or some shit like that. So sometimes the market can be risky. That's just an FYI for me personally. But if you like to cook, you're definitely gonna be able to save money on, your food in that particular month's stay. All right. What else is there? Transportation. I am an advocate of jeepneys and tricycles to the day that I die. Taxis are my kryptonite. I despise taxis. I hate them by all means. But then again, there are people that cannot stand to be on Jeeps. I've known brothers that have told me that they are too tall to fit on Jeeps. So it's very difficult for them to get on there. It's cramped and everything like that. So if you're that type of person, then I understand why you have to take taxis. But if Uber or Grab, my bad, not Uber, if Grab is an option, I say use Grab before you use regular taxis. Again, only if that is an option in your area. Grab taxi is an option in Davao City, but Grab car is not. Okay. So you can do Grab cars in Manila, but I can't do that in Davao City. But because I know my way around the general vicinity of Davao City, I
know how to get around. So I know how much it's going to cost me to take this Jeep, how many Jeeps it's going to take for me to get to my destination. I know things like that. But for you guys that don't know, first timers to the country, again, this is your initial trip. Stick to the taxis, because taxis and grabs are safer for you, more than likely, than getting on Jeeps and FXs and, those LR, the aircon Jeepneys and stuff like that. Just, prepare yourself a budget for taxis. Let's hope that you put yourself in your Airbnb situation location where you can be near everything, because that's very important. You want to make sure that you are near everything so that you can walk to it, or you don't have to travel very far to actually get to it. That way you cut down on your transportation costs. That is very important. You want to cut down on transportation costs as much as humanly possible. A lot of people be like, what's $2 here, what's $3 there? That shit add up. I'm telling you. Traveling 40, 50, 50 pesos to go this place, 60, then 120 here, going to the Mall of Asia back and forth and stuff like that. That stuff will add up. And you're definitely gonna put yourself um in a situation where you definitely want to take it to consideration. Oahu Dude says, is this video for limited budget travelers? No, this video was not specifically for limited budget travelers. This is basically an indication of, how much money you should possibly prepare. That's all I'm doing. Like I said 22,000 for your ticket, 500 for your Airbnb. We're doing rough estimates. Don't sit there and quote me on all the prices, because again, ticket prices will be cheaper. But for me, I kind of feel like it's weird that somebody will come to the Philippines looking to drop, $10,000 for no reason whatsoever. I think that you would want to get more bang for your buck. That's kind of what this is all about. It's not necessarily for the budget traveler, but some people looking to get more bang for the buck. All right. So like I said, you got to worry about food, you got to worry about your transportation expenses, of course. There's also other important issues that must be discussed. I mean, depending on the activities and the nightlife that you're into, that will definitely determine the area in which you will be in. Okay, if you're a nightlife guy, you want to put yourself probably in the heart of Makati and be in Bonifacio Global City. All right, if you're looking for that nightlife mentality, that nightlife lifestyle, you're definitely going to put yourself in the heart of a city where the nightlife is booming. Okay, that could cost you about 25,000 a night, depending. You just never know, man. These prices could go anywhere. It fluctuates. But again, I like to make sure that, because of myself, I am a budget traveler. I definitely like to make sure that my numbers are fitting, so that if it is a short time vacation, I want to be able to bring money back. That's my thing. I want to be able to bring money back. A lot of people don't care if they bring money back, because they know that they can make it back when they get to work, or whatever it is that they're going to get back to. But I'm the type of person that if I'm gonna do my best, I want to try to save money on my vacation. I know that doesn't mean sacrificing a good time. You do realize this is for your month only. So if you want to be the 2 week millionaire, bring 10 grand with you and lose your effing mind. I encourage it 100%. But if you want to have a vacation, enjoy your time, but at least bring back a couple of dollars with you, you're definitely going to want to take a conservative approach to things. I want you to be able to enjoy yourself. I want you to be able to have as much fun as humanly possible, but you might want to take a conservative approach to things like that. But of course, if you are the type that's going to live here, like live here, live here, you come into the Philippines to retire. First things first, you want to make sure that you are as liquid as possible. Some people may not know what liquid means, but basically that's just a business term that means that you have assets that can be converted into cash quickly. Gold, houses, or whatever. You want to make sure that you come to the Philippines liquid. You want to make sure that you have nothing tying you down to the United States, unless it's like properties or something that you're earning money off of. But you want to come with as much cash as humanly possible, because you're definitely going to need to find a way to live off of some money. All right. If you, like I said, we could talk about how much money you need to have per month. We've kind of discussed that. You say 1,500 is fine. Some people agree with me when I said 25 to 3,000. A lot of people have different budget ranges. But again, if you want to live a comfortable lifestyle, you want to live, not just survive, you're going to make sure you bring as much money as humanly possible, and you can cash out and cap out on your top monthly budget, the best that you possibly can. Because at least if you go broke, at least you go broke having a hell of a good time, man. Oh man, but we just definitely you definitely take a different approach when you're moving here. That's one thing that you do know for sure. I don't think that that's something that we need to talk about. You definitely take a different approach when you're moving here as opposed to visiting here. When you're moving here, you're going to put yourself on a budget. You're going to have to, strictly, especially if you don't have any way of earning income, and you're going to try to find a way to live off of what you have, and then try to make money that you have stretch over a month, and whatever you're getting on a per monthly basis, that's what you're going to have to make work for yourself. Number one, if your money is not enough per month, you shouldn't even be thinking about coming to the Philippines at all. We talked about earlier, a lot of people commented on the video. Everybody was like, oh, the 500 peso budget is ridiculous. Nobody should be able to live off of that. Some people can, but it is hard as hell. Okay. It is almost impossible. I like to say impossible. It is almost impossible for a man to live off of 500 a month. All right. Almost impossible. I'm not saying it is impossible. It is almost impossible for a man to live off of that kind of cash per month. Again, it depends on you and it depends on your lifestyle. But when you're trying to live in the Philippines, you might have to correct a little bit about, you might have to correct a few things about yourself if you're going to find ways to, stretch your money. I like to call it stretching. It ain't being cheap. It's just making the money work for you. More bang for the buck. You definitely gonna have to make some moves that can put you in a situation where you can be able to do the things that you love to do. Because a lot of people like to do a lot of things. All right. And if your money doesn't satisfy your desires or your lifestyle in the Philippines, you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be broke before it's time for you to get paid again. And that's the last thing that you want to happen to yourself. Okay. So again, I do believe that there are two different mindsets that will be approached, especially for those choosing to come to the Philippines for a month stay or a couple of months stay, as opposed to those looking to stay full time, retire, whatever it may be. So you definitely have different mindsets and different approaches, and I definitely want to just get my mind together, get my thoughts out, so I can make sure that I respond to everybody who came through in the chat. So again, guys, thank you for listening to me do my rant and my rave. And now I'm gonna answer questions, and I'm going to discuss topics that you guys have brung up in the chat. I see we got 27 or 29 individuals right now watching. I appreciate all 29 of you guys watching. I do not believe that I left the link. I was in a rush today, guys, and I did not leave my links in the description area below. My apologies, but I appreciate you guys coming through and spending some time with the good doctor today. Shouting out my man Andy the Virgo. Appreciate you coming through, my brother. I know that you're gonna probably focus on a more fixed kind of like a stretch budget, like I like to do. You got to make sure that that budget works for you in the long term, because you may not be coming with as much money as somebody else may be coming with. So I understand everybody's situation is different. So Andy, appreciate you coming through, showing some love, man. My man David Webb, what's good with your family? Where the white women be at? You gotta ask the right people, man. I ain't the one. Shout out to my man Joe. He says, first time I bought 600. This was in the early 2000s. Now he has a family, so he brings about $10,000 for a vacation. Yeah, quick question. How long is that vacation and how long does that money last? You say you bring in about 8 to about 9.99. We'll just round it up to 10K. How long of a vacation is that for you? And since you have a family, I assume that consists of a wife, but how many kids does that take care of? I'm definitely interested to know what that 8 to 10K budget covers and for how long it covers you. All right. My man, Mr. Wonderful in the building. What's going on, man? I appreciate you showing some love. I don't know if you guys are still with me, but I'm glad that you guys have showed up and shown some love to the good doctor today. My man, Eyes On, appreciate you spending some time with me, brother. Oahu dude, what's going on with you? My man Sagus, what's going on, family? Rain Man, I appreciate you. Mr. World Traveler, Mike Check 1212, what's good with your family? Yes, Rain Man, Dr. Milk the Robust. You are not gonna live, you ain't gonna let that shit go, are you? I appreciate you, family. But Cam Y, appreciate you spending some time, man. He says no one can survive on 500 a month. He said, never mind, you can survive but not live comfortably. That is the key right there. That is what it is in its essence. You can survive, but that's basically, in my opinion, all you will be doing. So if you're a first timer coming to the Philippines, how much do you think you should prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines, guys? I'm opening the floor to you guys. I kind of just gave out some numbers. Of course, those numbers were very broad. I just wanted to give a quick, just make this informational, educational, and I hope that you guys get something from it. Because at least if those aren't your numbers, at least you know all of the things that you need to make sure you are looking into and taking care of before you actually choose to make a dedicated trip to a whole nother country. Not even just the Philippines, guy. If you're looking to prepare for an initial trip to anywhere, I want you to make sure that you cover yourself from beginning to end. And one thing that I do believe that is absolutely the most important, understanding your exchange rates. A lot of people don't understand exchange rates because they see the dollars or the peso or whatever, but you're not taking into account how much something may cost in the city. All right. Let's say you're going to Tokyo, Japan, that Japanese yen. I think we're trading, good God, don't make me lie. I want to say a dollar is about 10,000 yen, maybe. I don't know, but that's kind of like a rough estimate of what the yen is right now. But it may cost you 10,000, 20,000 yen to do mediocre shit. So basically, the cost of living in Tokyo is definitely a lot more expensive than the money that you will actually be bringing in. So these are definitely things that you got to make sure that you take into consideration as well. Yeah, you might get a lot of money, like, ooh, that's 10,000 yen, but that 10,000 yen may go as quickly as you spending money on one meal. You understand? Or I don't know, something like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you take your exchange rates into consideration because a lot of people don't. They just say, oh, my dollar goes a long way in this country. You'll only know if it goes a long way if you know what the prices are in consideration to where you're choosing to stay and or live. I know that my prices in Manila are a whole lot different than my prices in Davao City, and that's just facts. Rayman said it's all about the Benjamins, man. I appreciate you. My man Terry's in the building. What's going on, Terry? I appreciate you showing some love. Terry Edwards, more specifically, I appreciate you showing some love to the family, man. My man said Benjamin's condoms are wet wipes. Yeah, man, you can't live in the Philippines without wet wipes, man. That's funny, but it's actually true. Cam Y says, I want to retire in my 30s in the Philippines while spending $900 a month. That is actually doable. It is very doable to live off of 900 US dollars a month. I choose for myself to personally have a higher budget, but 900 is always doable. Oahu Dude believes that you have to have at least two sources of income or two sources of cash. Agreed. He said 1 month I bring in about $3,000 and my Charles Schwab debit card. The cash would be my backup to use ATM mostly. Okay. He said for 1 month he'll bring 3,000 cash and then he'll have money on his backup debit card. Okay. My man Terry Edwards, like I mentioned earlier, said he could get a round trip for 750 US from Chicago to the Philippines and back and forth. So again, that's definitely something to look into. If you're trying to fly out on the East Coast, Chicago may be your best bet. If you're trying to fly out on the West Coast, I see absolutely no place better than LAX. Can't find it, and you probably won't. My man Fed Up in the building. What's going on, family? Showing some love to you, my brother. Mr. Wonderful said that that's better than Cebu Pacific. Yes, I've tried to look at Cebu Pacific flights since I've been in the country, and they have gone up on prices too much for me, guys. I'm sorry. Cebu Pacific has definitely just their prices are going up and it's not any cheaper and it's not going to be any cheaper anytime soon. So I rely now on Air Asia. Yes, Air Asia is a cheaper flight and there are sacrifices that must be made. I will say that, but I enjoy the flight. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, gets me from point A to point B. But again, this is for travel in the country or for short travels in Southeast Asia. I don't know where you might be flying on Air Asia outside of the country, but I know that when I fly it in the country, it's definitely the cheapest way to go. Shout out to my man John Jones. That's what's good, family. Hashtag Team Davao in the building. Showing some love to you, family. I appreciate you spending some time with the good doctor today. And of course, I saw Rona earlier, and of course, you're hashtagging yourself as her property. That's what's up. My man Terry Edwards brings up a great point. If you are on a short vacation, always pack light. I agree with that 100%. If you're moving here to the Philippines, you should still pack light as far as clothes is concerned, because most of the clothes you'll be able to buy here relatively cheap, unless you're a bigger guy such as myself and others, and an extra large in the Philippines is like a child size small, so in the U.S. sizes, so you kind of have to make a sacrifice with that. So you definitely want to have your clothes with you, but if you can fit into your Philippine sizes, then you can pretty much just reserve a little bit of space for clothing and other things that are more important than clothing. But yeah, packing light is definitely the way to go. You're gonna lose a lot of weight when you come here in the Philippines. Anyways, I find it to be almost impossible for you guys not to lose weight. I mean, Jesus Christ, you go outside and stand still, you're gonna drop like 20 pounds because the heat is just absolutely infuriating and exhausting in its essence for sure. So you're gonna lose weight. So you might not want to pack too many of your regular clothes because you're probably not gonna be able to fit into them for much longer. My man Fed Up says you got to eat Filipino and experience the real Philippines. I agree, the night markets. But again, you eat Filipino and experience the real Philippines if your stomach can take it. Okay, that's for sure. My man World Traveler says that you should just bring 5,000. What's my man say? Hold on. I'm getting back to you guys. Hold on. Shit. I got fucked up. Sorry, guys. My bad. Oh, World Traveler says you should just bring 5K USD to the party and party like a king. Get some tuition girls and make it rain. Ah, and tuition girls are actually cleaner. So yeah, that's a good point, man. 5,000 is probably a safe bet, and that's 5,000 spending money. 5,000 outside of you paying for your place to stay, paying for your travel tickets and your budget outside. So that's definitely facts. I agree with you 100%. Sagu says no American food in the Philippines. You should probably avoid American food in the Philippines. I agree. But, a lot of people won't. They'll go to the McDonald's. They'll go to the KFC. They'll go to your Burger Kings if they have them. They'll go to your Jollibees. They'll go to your Green Itch, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you'll go to places like that because it's quick, convenient, and, it's easy. It is cheap for you guys. And again, you should, Mr. Wonderful, you're right, man. You should learn how to cook before you leave to another country. Yeah, you should. But you're probably not going to be able to master the Filipino delicacies or the things that they have there. You just got to take you got to take whatever little bit you got and take a chance and, make it happen. Or at least find you a nice young lady that can cook for you, that you trust not to poison you, of course. All right. So my man Black Pablo, what's going on, family? He says for my lifestyle and Philippine prices, I think 700 to 800 would do me fine, not including housing. Okay, so that's just basically a spending budget. True. I do believe that that'll do you right. And I think if you add another 200 to that, just to find you a nice place to stay, that's probably about 10,000. You'd be good to go, man. Fed Up says use your thumb, use local trans. You stupid, man. John Jones says 5,000 peso a day budget. Nah, man, you're stretching it, bro. That's a lot of money. See, that man over there making it rain, though, family. I like that. My man over there making it rain. 5,000 a day. I don't know if I can make that work, bro. I mean, I know I can make it work, but I don't think I would need that much. What would you spend your 5,000 on, John? Let me know that. If you had a 5,000 peso a day, which is basically roughly $100 a day, what would you spend your $100 on? I know you can spend it, but I want to know what you would spend it on. Yo, just entertain that question for me, brother, please. Mr. Wonderful says, do you recommend the Airbnb long-term stays at 6 months or rent a local place? Mr. Wonderful, rent a local place if you're going to stay in the Philippines for 6 months or longer. The Airbnbs are actually, you know what? Let me explain how Airbnb does work. If you do find the right person, you can rent from them for 6 months and you can do a negotiation type deal with them. Sometimes on Airbnb, they do allow long term stays. But for me, I'm all about going around and finding the local places, man. Find you a nice little apartment or a nice little condo. It depends on the type of security that you need for yourself, but definitely look around for the apartments because you can probably find that Airbnb apartment or a place that's renting out in the same condo building for cheaper, maybe 5,000 pesos cheaper than you would probably be paying for the entire month, over in the condo that you're renting. So, you definitely have to look around for that stuff. But you can find Airbnbs that are cheaper, for long-term stays. But I think a nice little apartment will do you better and it will serve you better than having to deal with Airbnb, unless that Airbnb includes a maid to come clean for you and stuff like that. If you have those types of perks, then you could utilize it. And normally the Airbnb does have that. Like every time that I needed a room cleaned, I could call the owner of the building and they would send somebody to come through and clean the place up for you. So that's pretty much how Airbnb does work. But if you want to find you a nice little apartment, you'll definitely probably come out a little bit cheaper than, utilizing the Airbnb for 6 months at a time. Terry Edwards says I'm short and the Jeep is small. I like the trikes better. Trikes are better. until they get on main roads. Then I get freaked the fuck out. I'm a Jeep man to the day that I die, man. But trikes were cool, man. I love them for sure. The local transportation fed up, you're absolutely right. It is fun. And you can meet good people. I mean, I've sat next to some of the prettiest chicks I've ever seen and just smile at them and be friendly, say hello. But the problem is you can't talk to them. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be difficult to talk to them because all eyes will be on you and that girl in that conversation. So, yes, local transportation is definitely cool and it is a great place to meet people, but it could definitely put you in a situation where all eyes are on you. Like, why is this foreigner riding with the locals? You know, I mean, they always give me that look, but I just be getting it in. I just don't care. Terry Edwards says Jeeps can be confusing when you first arrive to the Philippines. Yes, when you first arrive to the Philippines, I do recommend avoiding the jeepney system unless you're riding with somebody, of course. But again, if you want to know the prices of Jeeps, about 10 pesos now. I think they raised it from 8 pesos to 10 pesos now. So yeah, you definitely gotta make sure that you take that into consideration. A whole 2 pesos, Jesus Christ, what is the world coming to? So yeah, Terry says the taxi cab will rip you off. You have to be careful because it will add up very fast. Yes, it does. Adds up very, very quickly. Oh, you're right. Hold on, fed up. I said 25,000 a night. That's true in certain places, but that's not that's not common numbers, man. But about 2,500. I was actually trying to say in the BGC area per night. I've seen places for like 7 to 10,000 per night. Yeah. So yeah, it can be expensive regardless. But if you're gonna put yourself in a position to live that night lifestyle, then by all means, you got to make sure you're ready to pay for it. Kim, while you bring up a great question, who goes to a third world country and spends 10K in a month? Somebody who's not really. I mean, shit. I mean, if you could spend 10K in the United States a month, I mean, you can live like a king on 10,000 US dollars in the United States. Bring that type of money to the Philippines, bruh. I think you'll live like an emperor, like one of them sheiks in Dubai on that type of cash, man. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the point of spending that type of money in the Philippines at all. But there are a couple people who do have the money for it, and because they do have the money, they absolutely spend it. But again, we're talking today, guys, about how much you should prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines. I want you guys to understand it could definitely fluctuate, in between whatever you're doing, maybe like your first time. I know people who've come to the Philippines for the first time balled out of control. Like the first 2 weeks they were here, they spent probably more money than they ever thought that they would. But after they realized that they needed to slow down on their shit, then they slowed down and they started pacing themselves and separating their money and doing right things with their money. But sometimes it's gonna get you, man. Because things are so cheap, you're definitely going to find yourself in situations where you're spending more money than you absolutely would have initially planned on spending in the first place. Okay, guys, I see we got 30 individuals watching. I appreciate all of you guys coming through and showing some love and spending some time with the good doctor today. So again, guys, make sure you get the likes up on the video. I don't think that I posted my links in my in my description area, so I can't tell you to go check out the shirts and all the stuff that I normally do. But definitely appreciate you coming through and spending some time with the good doctor tonight. My man Izon said, if IPA beer is in your area, get it. I've heard about IPA beer. I just haven't drank any of it. Again, I might find some IPA beer for my birthday, man. Guys, come make sure you guys join me on November 17th. I've already scheduled it in as a live show. We're going to do my birthday live stream. We're just going to have some fun, have a quick conversation. Hope you guys enjoy, spend some time with the good doctor, and celebrate with his birthday, man. Just come through, give yourself a birthday wish. That's all you got to do. Then I'll let you guys leave and do whatever you got to do to spend the rest of your day, because I don't even know what I'm going to be doing the night before, but I'm definitely going to be enjoying myself for sure. My man, a world traveler, says that a 25,000 peso a night is normal in BGC. Damn, that's normal. I don't know, bro. But hey, if that's the numbers you got, man, let it work. Teamwork make the dream work for sure. So I'm not mad at it. If you got the money, I say spend it, man. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. I'll tell you that time and time again. There's nothing wrong with spending money and enjoying yourself. I enjoy myself. I just don't enjoy myself on a level that's going to cost me 25,000 a night. That's just absolutely ridiculous. But again, I'm young, dumb, and broke, so I don't know nothing about no 25,000 a night. But I wish I had that kind of lifestyle. Awahudu says if you're staying for a month in Angeles and you're a newbie, recommend staying at Candy's Resort. Studio is $600 a month. Okay. So, guys, that's a recommendation for you if you're going to Angeles City in the AC. That must be a nice, clean place because he's recommending it. He said, and if you have a budget of 5K per day, you can have some fun. Anybody with a 5,000 peso a day budget, I want to make sure that I can get myself to that point. That sounds fun. That sounds like a good time for me. So if you do, let's do the mathematics on that real quick because I'm bored. If you do 5,000 a day, how much do you have to earn in a month to make 5,000 pesos per day as your budget? That's 5,000 times 30. Hey, I like doing simple math. I'm gonna do it on my phone. So if I did 5,000 pesos per day times 30, we'll say 31. I have to have 155,000 pesos per month. That is a shade under. No, that's about a shade over 2,000, roughly about 3,000. Yeah, that's my number, about $3,000 a month. 5,000 a day, man. You trying to make it rain in this bitch, ain't you? Shout out to my man Malcolm MJB in the place to be. What's going on, family? I know I'm late in the chat, guys. I'm getting into it. Getting into it. Fed Up says, well, I smashed the like button. Anything else? Hey, man. Hey, man, you know how you guys can donate to the channel if you choose to, man. That's the only thing else I say. You know my normal, but I can't tell you to do it because I actually forgot to put the links in the description area. So fuck me. Whatever. So Malcolm, appreciate you showing some love. Yeah, man, that noodle die to save you a lot of money, man. Noodles in the Philippines only seven pesos per pack. I don't know if that shit gonna do you good. Do you good at all? So Izone believes that you should buy the insurance on your ticket. So if you lose it or your girl throws it away, you can get the ticket back. I never knew that. I never thought about it or considered it. Normally, if it's a return ticket or something like that, what I would normally do is just print off my ticket going there so that all I had to do was just reprint that little paper thing, my e-ticket, and I'll just do the shit when I get to the airport. I don't like holding on to my actual ticket or boarding pass when I'm in the country, and I'm not planning on using that anytime soon. But it is good to have travel insurance. That's not necessarily a necessity, but travel insurance is definitely something to take into consideration when preparing for your initial trip to the Philippines. Everybody should have some travel insurance. It's not a necessity, but I think you should consider that for sure. Yeah, Mike, you're right, man. You can live off of 500 a month. Like I said, location is very important with a $500 a month budget. You can live in a province off that shit, but you definitely won't be able to live in no city area off of that. My man Smooth Riffs in the building. What's going on, family? Appreciate you showing some love, and I see you in the house. Go, I see you, man. I'll see you at your show if I can make it through after I finish this one, no doubt. My man said he can live off of the Pansec Canton diet. Malcolm, you crazy, bro. I've tried it. That shit make me sick. I can't eat that shit every day. But I can eat the McDo meal, 50 pesos. All it cost me, brother. 50 pesos per meal. I eat it twice a day, plus some snacks. And that's all I could do. I could probably budget myself out to about 200 pesos a day. No doubt. So John Jones says his lady is a good cook, so when he goes to visit the Philippines next month, he's in good hands. Good to know, my brother. As long as your girl can cook, if you can't, you should be making bank over there. You should be able to save a lot of money. Just go to the market and buy into your heart's content. Cam Y says if you are there for less than 3 months, you need 2K minimum USD. Are you saying 2K minimum USD per month or 2K altogether, Lahat? Because that would mean that you have a budget of what? Over 3 months. Yo, my man Derek Floyd, I see you, my brother, man. I didn't forget you. I'm just trying to make sure I get through the chat, but I see you drop that little 5 for me, man, and I appreciate you, my brother, as always. And I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute. I just got to make sure that I get all of this stuff taken care of. So, my man Cam Y, if you're talking about 2K a month for a 3-month stay, that means you're only spending 606. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. The triple six, man. And that's scary. 666 US dollars a month. That's your budget. That's just a shade over the 500. So if you mean per month, that's crazy. That's scary. Or you talk, but if you're talking about 2K per month visiting every month for 3 months, so that's about 6K. That's good. Yeah, that's probably very, very good. If it's a long term stay, about 1K USD per month for sure. The Robert Whiteman, what's going on, family? Yeah, the rate is about 54, like 53.90, 54, depending on the area where you buy it at. That's roughly about the price today. Yeah, you can't do BGC on 1K cam. BGC is nothing to fuck with. I love the province, guys. I love that shit, man. It's a great, 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 great moment. It's just good to live there too. The air's a little fresher and shit. It's just really nice, though. I can't lie. Are you Robert Wyman? I know you did ask me how good you could do on 5,000 USD a month. 5,000 USD a month, you could live like a boy. Are you talking about pesos or dollars? If you talk about $5,000 a month, boy, you can live a better life than a lot of people. I'll tell you that, because you're looking at roughly about 250, probably about 250,000 pesos a month, I think, if I did my math right. But that's just off the top of my head. My man Terry Edwards says, Dr. Mike, I want to stay in the Philippines for a year with a budget of $1,650 a month, doable, with an additional 5,000 for emergency fund and 4,000 for the initial setup of cost of getting an apartment. Bruh, that's good. I mean, see, and this is the thing about moving to the Philippines. I love you guys to death. You are the greatest group of people on earth. And I think that none of you guys are dumb enough not to know this, but I'm going to just say it anyways. You got to come to the Philippines with a plan. And that right there is a plan. He says, I want 5,000 in an emergency fund, 4,000 for his initial setup for like getting an apartment and stuff like that and getting himself right, whatever that means, furnishings or whatever it may be, and then 1,650 per month. Now, to get yourself set up for an apartment, 4,000 is way doable. Like, you could do very good with 4,000 to get yourself set up. I would say if you had it in you and you really love the area that you're in, I would say pay 3 months in advance. That'll keep you kosher, keep you cozy for a while. I like to pay my shit in advance. And I learned this a long time ago. I told you guys, prepaid expenses are considered assets, because that means that you paid your shit in advance and you don't have to worry about that money until it's time to come back to that stuff. So if you could pay everything that you can in advance, that is perfect. That is way good, because that gives you a chance to settle into a routine and you're not worried about your day-to-day spending, or, oh, did I forget to pay this bill this month or this bill last month, or whenever the bills come, they show you the deductions on your shit. So yeah, you definitely want to have a plan like that. So Terry, I salute you, my brother. Never come to the Philippines without a plan. Period. I don't care if it's a vacation plan. I don't care if it's a retirement plan. But if you have something in place, something that works for you, you need to do so, and you need to utilize it to the best of your ability to keep yourself in check. So my man Derek, like I said, brother, I appreciate the super chat, man. He says have 2,500 on hand if you're coming to the Philippines, and in different locations in case of emergency. True. Gotta have a good amount of money, guys. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You gotta have a good amount of money. 2,500 is definitely good. Like I said, for a month, that works for me. Cam Y says, what are things you hate about the Philippines? Off the top of my head, the things that I personally hate, I'm sure some guys have other things that they hate. But for me, the things that I hate is it can be kind of slow here. Like I said, transactions and things like that in the Philippines are very slow. The process is very slow. Sometimes they don't have what you need. Sometimes it's a come back tomorrow mentality. I heard somebody say that in the chat before. Salute to my brother who said that. I forgot. I want to say it was anti-gravity, but if it was fed up or one of you guys who said that come back tomorrow mentality, I hate that. But they do have that in the Philippines. You got to stay on top of people to get things done sometimes. So mostly it's about I wouldn't say that most of the things about the Philippines that I dislike are dealing more so with customer service, but that is something you definitely have to overcome. Personally, for me, I've been able to do it because I know now when I go to places, I know what I have to do to get things done. A lot of people aren't willing to do what needs to be done to get things done. So, I know what I have to do, but a lot of people won't. So you just got to make sure that you take it all into consideration and understand that they don't operate the same as they do in the United States. So that would be my top pet peeve. I would say the top pet peeve about the Philippines that really eggs me just a little bit is the fact that, things are a slower process. And if you're in a rush to get things done, you got to stay on top of people to make sure that they actually do their job. Malcolm, I can make 5K seem like 20K too, man. You guys are killing me. My man said lady drinks are 750. Again, if that's your lifestyle, if you're more so into going to the clubs and having fun and doing things like that, yeah, you're gonna pay a premium and a pretty penny for some things. Okay, guys, definitely make sure that you take all of that into consideration. Like I say, lifestyle. After it comes to taking care of where you staying at and plane tickets and all that stuff, lifestyle is where it's gonna play the most important role. Your lifestyle. All right. You may have a mid-range lifestyle where you like to do good things for a significant amount of time, but you can also scale back if you have to. You can have that lifestyle where I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna ball till I fall. You can have that mentality, and if you have 5 grand a month, you can definitely make that work. Or you can have that lifestyle where you're gonna be preservative and make that dollar stretch or that peso stretch. It just depends on you. All right, Fed Up, man. You have a good one, brother. He said he's tapping out for the evening. Appreciate you for coming through. Thank you for showing some love to the good doctor. Oahu Dude says to meet cute Filipinos on a trek, just make sure you have a card with your phone number and just pass it along. That's the only way that's gonna work. Yes. If you have a card with your phone number on it, yeah, that's the only way it's gonna work. And you have to hope that she texts you. Normally she will, but if you're trying to strike up a conversation on there, it could be hard. And then I don't like all eyes on you. I'm trying to have a good conversation, but sometimes it is a interrupted conversation because people want to get all up in your business. Filipinos do not have any respect for personal conversation. They will be all up in your face when they see you talking to a Filipina. They want to know what's going on with that situation for sure. So that they got some shit to run back and tell. So you gotta make sure you take that into consideration. Jay and Cookie, how you doing, Jay? Man, I appreciate you spending some love, man. Thank you for coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. Yeah, that's not normal spending, right, man? If you could drop ends like that, that's just not normal. It's not. But if you live like that, I can't stop you from doing so. I can't stop you from doing that shit at all. My man is called Papa Dappa Car Hauler. I love the name, man. I appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor, man. He said, "Is Dumageddon a good place to visit?" I would visit Dumageddon. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about Dumageddon. I mean, I think that it's probably overran by a bunch of foreigners. I do agree. I do agree that there's probably a lot of foreigners that have been through Dumageddon, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I heard that it reminds a lot of people of Davao City to an extent. So I would definitely check it out. I personally want to check out Dumageddon. I want to see what the hype is about. The way that I hype up Davao City, I've heard other people hyping up Doom and Getty, so I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I think that you should too. So, Mr. PD Carholla, Mr. Papadapa, boy, you killing me with the name. That's a mouthful, but I appreciate you coming through and showing some love. If this is your first time to the Dr. Mike TV channel, welcome yourself to the family. You are welcome. All right. Oh, Cam, I hope I answered your question about the things that I hate about the Philippines. I saw it earlier. I just scrolled down a little bit later, but yeah, those are my pet peeves. Just having to deal with slow processing when I need to get things done, going to places and they don't have available the stuff that I need. Shit gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. I wish I did have a 5K a day budget, man. Robert Reed, if my man didn't explain to you where BGC is, it's in the Manila area. It's probably about an hour or so from Ermita Malate, depending on traffic. But it's definitely like its own, like he says, it's like Manhattan of the Philippines. Yes, it does remind me of New York to an extent. BGC is like the New York of the Philippines for me. The New York of Manila, something like that. But I think it's definitely a dope place to visit. I'll never shit on anybody who wants to go visit there. But to live, you got to definitely be willing to put out some cash, to make that work for you. If you don't have the cash to shell out, just visit and disappear and never come back. Robert, why, man? That's $1 million question. Why would anyone live in BGC? Because they can afford it. That would be the reason why most people would live in BGC. So Wahoo Dude wants to drop some knowledge on you guys. He says your first trip to the Philippines, just make sure that you have means to lock up your passport and your cash, of course. Personally, for me, I'm lucky enough to have a Philippine bank account, so I don't really have to worry about having a lot of cash on me. But what I could do is I could, put my money in my Philippine bank account and be straight. But a lot of people who don't have that kind of cash got to be able to lock it up. I've seen a lot of people talking about the lock sack. They say that lock sack. I like to make sure I stress that lock sack, whatever they are. There's a bunch of them. They say that that stuff is really good to have. People can't cut in, they can't steal your shit. So they say that it's very good to have the lock sack. So definitely that's a good way to secure your shit when you're traveling. I've heard a lot of people do videos on it, and I think that it is definitely a good idea. Rayman says that he hates late people. Yeah, Filipinos work on Filipino people time. That's no different than dealing with other people who work on their own time, man. It's crazy. I don't like it, but it does happen. So my man Derek says that his girl found a place in Central Manila for 5,000 pesos a month. That's good, man. Is it big enough for you and your girl, and then of course the kids and stuff like that? You got to make sure that a place like that is good enough for you and your people. 5,000 is good, but that I want to know the type of location that you're looking at and like the area, because that definitely plays a part too. You can't be living in no crazy area though. You want to make sure that your 4,000 or 5,000 a month, if that's what you're gonna spend, you're not living in the quote unquote ghetto. That's basic. That's basically where you don't want to live. Okay, so you definitely make sure that you put yourself in at least a good, comfortable place. More bang for the buck, man. I don't want you living in a harsh lifestyle or a harsh area that could possibly get you, robbed if somebody see you leave your house open or vacant or empty and they just break in and steal your shit, because those areas do exist. Even in good areas they'll do that. So you just got to make sure you take all of that into consideration as well. I see we got 37 individuals watching. I appreciate all 37 of you guys watching. Please make sure you get the likes on the video. The IPA shirts, you know how to get them. You're going to have to find that in the other live stream video because I didn't put the link in the description area below. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good doctor is happy that you come through and spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. I hope y'all caught that. Jay says, Dr. Mike, I'm coming there next year. We need to link up. Hey, man, you tell me when you touch down in Davao City. I'll show y'all around. I'll show y'all some proper shit. A lot of people don't know, man. I know about my lifestyle, my nightlife lifestyle in Davao City. I just don't talk about it. But I got places for that ass. There's a lot of places that I don't talk about because they my secret hideouts. Nah, I'm playing. Joss, what's going on, family? I appreciate you coming through, Jamal, man. Show some love to the channel, man. Get the likes up on the video. Dr. Mike would highly appreciate it. Owahudu says, if this is your first trip, don't fall in love with the first beauty that shows interest. That's not necessarily about how much you need to prepare, how much you should prepare for your initial trip, but you definitely want to make sure you have a lot of money for your extracurricular activities, and that does include women as well. But you definitely don't want to fall in love with the first girl that talks to you. Seen a lot of guys fall for that trap. It sucks. I feel for them. I wish them the best, but a lot of guys don't get a chance to enjoy the whole entire Philippine experience in its essence. What do? They fall in love when they see a person and they're like, I'm gonna commit myself to this person for my entire trip. And then what if it doesn't work out? Then you basically wasted your whole month stay or 6 month stay dealing with one particular female. So you definitely want to make sure that you take all of that stuff into consideration. So I do agree with Oahu dude when he says, do not fall in love with the first Filipino that shows you interest. You cannot do that. Mr. Wonderful, you asked a great question. He asked, how long does he need to be in the country to set up a bank account? You have to be in there with a steady residence for a year, and you have to have some bills in your name to show that you are a resident of the particular area. So you got to have at least an electric bill in your name or something to show that you live there, to have your name and address or some shit. But at least a year, minimum a year. So my man Raymond says the ghetto is not as bad as the squatter areas in the Philippines. That is very true, but I kind of feel like some of them go hand in hand just a little bit. I'm just more concerned about people's safety, so they don't choose to live in areas that are potentially dangerous for you as a foreigner. That'll be the that'll be the way to say it. World traveler hashtag bar your life. You funny man, but that's true. You trying to? So Izor wants to see Raina Lynn. I haven't heard from her, so I think she's in love with Jeff Lee Brown. That's where she be over there all the time and shit. So yeah, that's what's up. Cam says, stay away from extracurricular activities. A guy on YouTube spent 90K in 6 months in Thailand. Hey man, if you got that kind of money, why not? I encourage people to go to a country and enjoy themselves, but 90K in 6 months is absolutely ridiculous. Maybe he has one of those jobs where he can work online and make that kind of money. I don't know, but you definitely have to make sure that you take everything into consideration, guys. How much you should prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines. I think that a safe number, if we had to drop a number on it, we'll say about 5 grand. And a lot, I think I told somebody that one time and they told me that that was too much money. And then I had to tell them, I was like, bruh, I said, if 15K, I'm sorry, if why did I say 15K? If 5,000 US is too much for you to spend, then you might not be ready to take the trip to the Philippines. I have to tell people that time and time again. If after you take care of bills, if after you buy your plane ticket and you kind of schedule yourself a place to stay, if you're still talking about, oh, this is too much, this is going to cost me too much, this, and this, that is definitely going to make me question why you choose to take trips if you can't afford to actually enjoy the trip. And I'm not talking about maxing out your credit card because I know some guys who max out their credit cards, man. That is just such a shame. They'll go on a vacation and spend 10 to 15,000 balling out of control, taking out cash advances and all that shit. So it isn't money that they actually saved towards the trip. It's just money that they swiped on their credit cards. And I found it to be the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. So if you have that lifestyle where you live off of credit cards and you say, I'll just pay that shit later, don't come to the Philippines because you're going to swipe your ass off. I guarantee you that because you're a dangerous man with some money in your pocket, man. And if you have 10 to 15K at your disposal and you got a clear credit card or a card that you just picked up, you're gonna come to the country and damn near go bankrupt, man. So I see my girl Liz in the building. Hey Liz, we love you over here. It's okay that you're late, but I'm just glad that you were able to make it. Like she says, guys, you got to get the likes up on the video, man. I would appreciate that. Whether you're coming in or leaving now, please make sure you get the likes up on the video if you guys like this particular live stream today. I'm definitely trying to shoot out some information and I wanted to make sure that I bring it to the chat so that everybody can participate in this one. Didn't want to make this a video in itself because that would be boring. I want to be able to hear what everybody else has to say on this particular topic tonight. Again, we are discussing how much should you prepare for your initial trip to the Philippines. Now, I would say about 5,000 for a 1 month to 2 month vacation, covering all of the expenses. But if you're going to live in the Philippines, this is the $1,000,000 question. How much money? This is the question I posed to the chat. How much money do you think you should bring to the Philippines to live off of before you start getting a monthly salary or monthly stipend or whatever you want to call it, okay? Before you start pushing that monthly gig, how much money do you think you need to bring to the Philippines if you're going to retire here? That's the question that I post in my chat right now. World traveler, you stupid man. He said that 90K include STD visits to the doctor. Probably he needs to. He said make sure you check your area out before you commit to staying a month or longer. Get a place for a week or less. That's way easier to change locations. Yes, never commit yourself to a long-term place until you realize that it is the place for you. My man Wahudu says, especially for older guys, make sure you have enough medication to last you throughout your stay. Yes, medication is very important. Sometimes the Philippines will not have your equivalent to the medicine that you need. So you definitely want to make sure that you prepare medications. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about that before. Your health is your wealth. You got to make sure you keep that shit on point. And if you need your medications, make sure you have enough of it. Don't come here slipping, man. Talking about, oh, I need to go to the doctor to get some meds. Because I'm telling you, Philippine medication may not be what you need. They may not have an equivalent to what you need. So you want to make sure that you definitely have your medications on point. Oahu dude, thank you for dropping that knowledge because that's definitely something that needs to be talked about. Oh wow, dude, man, I can't fuck with you right now, man. You're funny. Dude, I can't. I'm not gonna read that, but y'all read what my man said. If you catch this on the replay, bro, you dumb. But yeah, you do need to make sure that you come prepared for that. I'll definitely tell you. If you're an active person, Tony in the building. What's going on, family? My man Tony Towers. Hashtag Team Dab out in this bitch. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor, man. We love you. As always, you know how we represent over here, man. Of course, World Traveler got to throw in BGC. Nobody cares about that place. Yeah, nobody can afford to live there but you, so you keep that to yourself. So World Traveler says the retirement he would say 5 million pesos or more, so that's roughly about 100,000 US dollars. I always thought that was a safe number too. 100,000 US dollars does seem like a safe number. Again, that's a rough estimate, but roughly 100,000 US dollars to retire in the Philippines. I like that number. I think that I once said I would need at least a half of that, like a half a mil. That seems like a lot, but that would put you in a situation where you're comfortable for a significant amount of time. Uh, Anti-gravity BGC is Bonifacio Global City. They're in Manila. That's what they call yeah, they just call it BGC for short. Robert, you asked, can you get meds sent to the Philippines? Probably not, because I wouldn't trust. Well, you know what? Maybe you could get a FedEx. I mean, I'm not saying that that's impossible, but I don't know how they are about shipping medicines and stuff like that. And I don't want your shit to come up late. And I damn sure don't want your shit to come to a place where you can't actually get it. Because sometimes Philippine mail is not necessarily the most accurate type of mail system. And sometimes it does take time. And I don't want you to have to wait for something that is very, very, very important. So it depends on how you got it set up. But you need to make sure you have your medications. Don't come to the Philippines for a long period of stay if you don't have your medications on point, especially if you need it, because you do not want to go to Philippine hospitals all the time. I tell you that. They are good for taking care of minor things, but major things you're going to want to be with your doctor and dealing with the person that's always taking care of you, because they know exactly what you need. Sometimes in the Philippines, I've seen it happen. They're trying to guess what's going on with the foreigner, and before they find out what's really going on with them, that dude's already dead. You don't want to be in a place where they got to guess, what's going on with you. Like if you're having seizures and shit like that, you don't want nobody to be wondering, oh shit, how do I treat this man for this seizure? Like, can I give him this? Do I give him the shot? If I, what am I supposed to do? You don't want those problems. Trust me. You definitely want to make sure you keep that on point. Rain Man, that's because you were talking to World Traveler. You ain't talking to me. You ain't talking to me. I read your comments, man, but the crowd reads your comments, so I didn't think that you needed that kind of attention. But if you want to drop some one-liners, let's see how good you are, man. Let's see what you got for me. Mm. Yes, Rain Man, I'm gonna give you that one. That's what BGC stands for. You know I can't read that. But hey, man, dude, stop referring to my lower extremities, man. You know that's what robust does to a man. Y'all killing me, man. Anti-gravity says, how much money do I need to bring to ball hard? About 5,000. You should be able to ball hard for 5 grand, man. I believe it. Cam Y trying to drop some numbers for you guys. He says, take your annual expense and divide it by 4%. That's how you know how much you need to retire on. So I need 24K a year. You need 600 to retire, 600K to retire on. Okay. So that's how I'm supposed to do my mathematics on that. He said about 600K to retire. I always just gave myself 500. I thought that was always a safe bet for myself. So you can FedEx, but be sure prescription is in the package. Okay. So if you need to get your meds done, guys, you can FedEx it. That was something I always was afraid about. That was something I was always scared about. Sometimes you got to be careful about sending packages to the Philippines, guys. You know how that whirls. You know exactly how that goes. But you definitely want to make sure that you You definitely want to make sure that you can get your medicines. And how long it takes, I'm not sure. I mean, it does depend. Maybe if it's an emergency, they can overnight it. Sometimes you can't get an overnight. So Terry Edwards, you bring up a great point, brother. He says if I'm going to retire in the Philippines, I would buy a condo and have it paid for before I make the move to stay there. Exactly. I think that if you're really looking to make the commitment to buying a condo, you should go ahead and start making payments on it now so that it's already there for you when you get there. But then again, you do have to take into consideration, is this the area that I want to be in? Because once you buy a condo, you're stuck there. You're pretty much stuck. Robert Wyman says, "Can I bring my medical records with me?" Yeah, you can bring your medical records, but I think it will serve you best if you're retired military, because you could just bring all that stuff to the VA and the VA will take care of you. Like I said, if you're a retired military, the VA, you might need to stay on top of people, but you could definitely get some things done. Like if you have procedures and stuff like that, you can definitely get things done through the VA. Sometimes it might take some time, but you could definitely get things done through the VA. So if you are a retired veteran and you guys are looking to get some things done, like some surgeries and stuff like that, something you've been needing to take care of, once you're in the system in the Philippines, I think things are a little bit easier, especially if you've made your 100% disability. So, that's definitely something to take into consideration as well if you are retired military. No, Jay, there are very good hospitals in the Philippines. You could go to the Philippine Heart. Damn, what's the name of that? It's PSH, Philippine Heart Hospital, or some shit like that. You can go to St. Luke's. You could go to some hospitals there, but they're expensive. I will tell you that. But if you have major surgeries, you just got to make sure you go to the right places, man. I'm not gonna tell you where to go, but you definitely want to make sure you go to the right places. Bruh, you trying to tell me about your one-liners, man. I'm trying to read through the comments, man. I gotta make sure that I get caught up. Well, yeah, eyes on, if you do bring your medical records, you may get the right ones for you. But then again, I'm not gonna say that every uh how can I say this? Not every prescription medication that you have or that you need, they will have in the Philippines. They may have what they like to call the off-brand product of that particular brand, but maybe that doesn't necessarily work for you. So you definitely want to make sure that if you do bring your medical records, you want to make sure that they actually have these meds for you. But never come to the Philippines unless you got your medication together. Again, you can get that stuff FedEx to you. Find a way to get that set up. You should talk to your doctor. Like, I plan on going to this country for a while. I'm gonna need something to take care of my medicine. I got enough medication to get me through this amount of time, but I may need a refill soon. So how soon can you get me that? You got to make sure you take all of that into consideration. So Oahu Dude says you should also have your hepatitis A shot. I had my hepatitis A, B, and C shot when I was younger, so I should probably update my shot records on that one though. But you definitely need to take that into consideration. Health is wealth, people, for sure. So anti-gravity believes that you need about 2.5 million to retire comfortably, 5 million nowadays, because by the time we retire, we will have life expectancies of like 125 years old. That's for people who have been taking care of themselves for sure. But yeah, Ray, man, St. Luke's and Makati Medical, those are some very, very good hospitals. Definitely good places to go. So Terry, you bring up a great point, man, and that's definitely a good idea to, you know, travel back and forth to the Philippines before you retire so you have a good idea of the area in which you want to live in before you commit. Please do. That's all I can tell you. Once you find your area, commit to it. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, a lot of people will tell you, you should buy a condo. That kind of ties you down to one specific area, depreciation on the property, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have that type of, you know, viewpoint, and you can understand where it comes from, but you have to make sure that you are ready for that. And again, if it's a place that you plan on staying for a significant amount of time and that's going to be your property, Shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. But yeah, make sure you travel around before you commit. Renting does give you flexibility. Very true. Man, you guys got to be careful, man. Again, a lot of you guys are focusing on health and wealth right now, and I'm loving that particular aspect of the conversation because that is definitely something you need to make sure that you take into consideration whenever you come to the Philippines. We talk about how much you should prepare for your initial trip. We were originally talking about money, but now we're talking about the types of things you should bring with you. My man says, BYOC, you got to bring your own condoms. Yeah, you probably should if you are a bigger man. Definitely make sure your meds are up to date. Make sure that you have meds that don't expire within a year. That way they last you for a significant amount of time. You got to make sure that you're on top of all of this, man. But this is for those that are making the commitment to actually come to the Philippines and live. If you're making that commitment, you need to make sure your medicine is on point because, I don't want you coming to the country and not being able to get the assistance that you need. And like I said, I've known situations where people have had medical issues, but they weren't able to get taken care of or seen because nobody knew what was needed. Nobody knew what to do. So you got to make sure that people know what to do. So your shot records, medical records, the whole nine, everything that you had. I would go to the nearest doctor in a great place in Davao City. That would be Davao Doctors Hospital, probably the best hospital in the city. Tell them, look, I want to make sure that this is on record with so and so. You make sure you go to a doctor, check around, see which one works best for you, and you make sure that they know everything about you should you come in through an emergency. You want somebody to say, "Oh, my physician or my doctor is, Doctor so and so." You want to make sure that people got that on point. You want to make sure that everybody knows how they could get to you, just in case. So my man Jaws is like me, man. He said he fell in love with Davao. He wants to make that his home base, to travel around the Philippines and to other parts of Asia. I'm telling you, hashtag Team Davao in the building. See, y'all coming in strong for your boy today. I'm telling you, man, Davao's the place to be. I don't care what nobody says. We can have your BGCs, we can have your Sabuti lands, we can have your Manilas, your team Angeles City, and all that stuff. You can have that. But we all about Davao over here, so y'all make sure y'all show some love to Davao. Cam, I don't think anybody actually lives here right now. I've been here for a while, but I don't actually live here. I haven't committed to living here, but yeah. Well, yes, Rain Man. ED medication is different. they got all kinds of recipes for, if you have ED issues, man. Quote unquote robust. If you're gonna bring it up, you can talk about it. World Traveler says bring a laptop, a cell phone, tablet from the States. Cheaper to buy it there than in the Philippines. Very true. Bring Vitamix blender with you and plenty of fresh fruits and foods, and you'll be okay. Mr. Wonderful, unfortunately, we're not allowed to travel with fresh fruits, brother. They'll take that out of your stuff when you first get to the airport. I've seen people try and they failed miserably. So we're not going to be able to bring fresh fruits, but you can definitely get some really good fruits in the Philippines. Like I said, they got the standards, they got your bananas, they got your apples, they got, stuff that you can trust in the market. I mean, I've eaten it and it ain't killed me yet. So I think that most of their fruits are pretty reliable. Yes, you need to understand your no-nos in the country too, dealing with like you said, drugs and women of underage women. Yeah, you need to make sure you're on top of that. Rain Man, don't be such a hater, man. I'm gonna block your comment. Don't be talking about Davao like that cause you mad. You can have Sabu, man. I don't need it. I'm not gonna fight you for it. Terry Edwards says renting gives you flexibility, but it also cuts into your budget. Why not already have a place to stay while you're young enough to pay for it? Make good money in your country. It would be one less bill. Yeah, very true. Anti-gravity says, I wonder, are there foreigners specialty stores in the Philippines? In China, I used to go to an import store that had all kinds of imported goods from the West. Expensive as shit, but definitely worth it. Yeah, they do have some places like that in the Philippines, but most of the time you can go to the grocery store. Like, this is more so for like wines and drinks and shit. They kind of have a space for that at grocery stores, but I don't know exactly what you mean by specialty. I need examples because I know what you mean. Anything and everything exported, but I don't think in the Philippines that there's a specific place that has everything that is exported from the US or any other country and bought to the Philippines. I'm not sure about that. My man Lionel Sanders in the building. What's going on, family? He says, so Dr. Mike, could you please tell me one more time how long can a US citizen stay in the Philippines with just a passport? This will be my first trip. Okay, guys, but let me outline you like I always do. First time you come to the Philippines, when you get in the airport, you're going to stamp that passport. That gives you 30 days in the country. Second time you renew, or on your first official renewal, you can only renew for 1 month. Now, when you renew for your second time, the second renewal, you can renew anywhere between 1 month and 6 months. During that time, you will be forced to pay for your tourist visa, or you'll get that tourist visa ID. And that right there is kind of how it works. And then you can stay in the country for up to 3 years before you have to leave and re enter the country. Then, once you leave, re enter the country, you can do the same process for another 3 years. That's pretty much how it works. I think David's Angel lives in Davao City too, man. I'm not sure. I've seen his videos, man, but I've never heard from him, so I don't know. Yeah. I gotta go back. I think I misread a comment. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I probably did. Give me a minute, guys. I gotta read a comment that I probably misread. Yeah, he didn't say bring it. Ha, I'm dumb. He said bring the Vitamix blender. I thought he said and bring fresh fruits with you. I don't know. See, I gotta read fast, man. Damn, I'm trying to keep up. Ain't the end of the world. All right. I was tripping. You got me. All right, guys. But yeah, you can stay in the country for about 30 days on your initial stay and then make it work from there. Right. S&R and Costco's, they do have most US branded stuff. Most. I forgot about S&R. Damn, I'm slipping. I forgot about S&R. Thank you, Mike, man, because I forgot all about S&R, man. But I mean, to me, it has a mix of Filipino and American stuff in there, but or like foreign stuff. So I mean, again, it does depend on what you mean by like a specialty store. But if you had to like, if you're talking about foods and stuff like that, and then yeah, S&R is the place to go. I wouldn't say that it even commits to appliances and stuff like that either. I just never. Yeah, actually, S&R is a specialty store. So my man Jaws said get the Balik Bayan visa. I need to do my research on that. Yes, Jay and Cookie, that is for Americans and Canadians too, I believe. I believe that that visa works for every foreigner, just about. Especially those coming from the first world. I know US and Canada, that's kind of how it works. So my man Cam says, is there any other black people in Davao? Yes, man, there are some. Not a lot. Not a lot, but there are some. There are some. That's a funny question, but I laugh. But yeah, that's actually a good question. There are a chosen few. I went to the immigration office and I saw two in there. I saw two other brothers there myself. So there are a couple in Davao. You just won't find that many. And actually, the funny part is they may not live in the city part. They may be spread out in Jensen. They may be in Tagum. They may be in Carmen. They may be in Panabo. That's the thing, though. A lot of them don't really live in the city area of Davao. Most of them kind of live outside of the city. Like when I asked them, where are you staying now? Someone was like, yeah, I stay in Bago Playa, which is weird, like kind of near where I used to live at. Then the other dude said, yeah, I came in from Jensen to take care of my paperwork, but I'm on my way out. So, it does depend. It definitely does depend. You're not going to find too many people that actually live, in Davao City like that. Right, that's true. With SNR, you just have to be a member. You have to sign up for a membership. I think it's like 1,000 pesos or something like that. I don't know. It could be more. Probably now. Cam, why you're not gonna be the only brother in the whole city, but hey, I'm telling you, you should use that to your to your advantage, man. Don't look at it as such a negative thing. Being the only black guy in the city is not a bad thing at all. I'm telling you, I made it work. Shit, it worked for me. And I wasn't the only one, but there were very few, man. I think I've seen one dude. There was one guy that I used to always see or come across in Davao City. He was an African American guy from Florida, but he was a Jehovah's Witness. So every time I see him, I used to avoid him because I know this man gonna ask me questions about joining his church or coming to check out his programs and stuff like that. So I couldn't do it. I every time I see the old dude, I would see one black dude other than myself and my brother, of course, in Davao City. But I couldn't talk to him because this man was always trying to convince me to go to his services or like, yeah, man, come to my church, man. You should come check us out, man, or come read the Watchtower pamphlets and shit. I'm like, man, I just want to enjoy my time. But that was the only brother in Davao that I did see. I had to avoid him because of that. That shit hurt my feelings, man. But you won't be the only one. There's another one in there that I know for sure. But there are not a lot of foreigners in Davao City, but I love it. I love it. There aren't many. Like I said, you're not gonna find many. Who is Ada? The EAT. Who is that? Oh, the tribal people. They might be, but they're not in Davao City. I don't believe they're in the city part, so I don't know. Yeah, they were, Cam. You're right. They were ex-military, the guys that I did see. So, I mean, what can we do? That's life. I mean, a lot of African Americans that I did see in the Philippines are retired military. Not too many just come over there to visit. My man said all the black people are in Angeles, Dumaguete, and Tanjay City. Mm. You're right, Cam. They are all over the place when they travel, though. It's 700 now. Damn, they charged 1,000 in Davao City before. Like I said, man, the prices probably went down, but that's probably because they got competition there now. I don't know. But yeah, I had to pay 1,000 for my membership back then. But again, that was probably a couple years back. Liz says if you come to Davao, you will be like a celebrity. People will look at you. Just smile. Here in Davao City, it's not so crowded with foreigners. To find foreigners, they are at the malls. Yes. See, a lot of people get on my nerves, man, when they be like, "Oh, Davao ain't got enough foreigners." What? Why the hell do you want to be around a place where there's a bunch of other foreigners for? Tell me. Please tell me. There's no benefit to it, man. I like going to a place where I'm the only one. If I ain't the only one, I want to be one of very few. I'm telling you. Because a lot of people don't understand why I like Davao City so much. That was the reason why I like Davao City so much. Because I was damn near the only one. Me, my brother, and like my friend. Like I said, you'll come across a handful every now and again, but it's not crowded. A lot of people they want to go to places where they feel comfortable because they see a whole bunch of other foreigners. That's not always the best bet. All right, because most of them people are jackasses themselves. Most foreigners are a bunch of assholes in the Philippines themselves. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to interact. They don't want to communicate with everybody else. They just want to do their own thing, and that's it. So for me not to have to deal with a whole bunch of foreigners on a regular basis, man, that did me favors. I remember on the flight to Davao City, there was one other brother on the flight with me. Um, you know what's funny? He was actually in the video that I did. The flight when I flew from Manila to Davao City, you wouldn't notice him because he was just there at the baggage claim area. But he was the only other dude. He was a black dude that was on the flight with me. So it's not like there aren't other foreigners there or other African Americans or anything like that. But you know, I believe wholeheartedly that being the only foreigner is definitely more so to your benefit than to your for you to feel a certain kind of way about it because you don't see as many as you see in other places. Yeah. Jaws, I do not know who Michael's vlogs is. I look for it, but it does not show up. Jay, accept it, man. Enjoy it, man. They call you Katie. Milk it. I'm gonna tell you, just milk it. Just milk it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Robert says, what kind of health insurance should he have before he goes to the Philippines? What kind of health insurance should you have? Um, that's a good question because I'm not sure how many policies in the United States carry over to the Philippines. That's what I don't know. I am not sure how many policies or if any policies from the U.S. transfer over to the Philippine hospitals. So I'm not sure about that. John Jones said he saw more brothers in Manila than Davao. Oh, that's 100% true. World Traveler says bring your gold pack condoms not sold in the Philippines. No doubt, man. They are not sold in the Philippines at all. I've never seen the gold packs. So if you feel like you're gonna be real active, man, make sure you get you enough to last you for a year. All right, Fed Up. I see you back in the building, man. So thank you for showing some love. Oahu dude, I milked it, man. Why you see a lot of people don't know that's probably one of the main reasons why I enjoyed Davao City so much because I was like damn near the only one. Or if I did see other ones, it was like once a month or once every now and again. Maybe twice a month if I was lucky. So I really didn't have to worry about anything. I just went to the Philippines and I enjoyed myself. Davao City more specifically. Kaya na, Liz. Kaya na. World Traveler says that the Blue Cross International Medical Insurance. Thank you. For anybody looking to get into some medical insurance or any needs medical, try getting the Blue Cross International Medical Insurance, something that will cover you in the Philippines while you are away. Thank you, Jaws. Thank you, my brother. I'm gonna check that out as we speak. Yeah, Rain, man, I see him. I'm just not gonna recognize him, man. I ain't got time for his shit today. I truly don't. I see you, boy, but I just ain't got time to worry myself with that shit. I'm too lazy to fuck with him today. But yeah, I do see him, and if he needs love, somebody give him a hug for me, cause I ain't got time for his shit today. Cam says y'all don't want other foreigners so you can hog the honeys. No, it's their fault that they choose not to come to Davao City. I try to encourage people to come to Davao City. I am like Davao City's #1 ambassador. I encourage people all the time, come to Davao, man. Y'all should come check out Davao. But y'all be like, nah, man, it's too provincial, man. I don't like it there. There's not enough for me to do there, man. I be trying to tell them, but nobody wants to come there. So don't get mad at me because I'm enjoying my life in Davao City because I'm one of very few and I get all the love and shit. And I'm trying to share the love because I be inviting people out there, but nobody wants to come through and make it work. That's it works for me, man. Liz says if you're black, people think you say if you're black, they think you're a basketball player or Tiger Woods that plays golf, sings or dance or twerks or whatever. Yeah, that's true. Josh says I saw a few foreigners in Davao, mainly in the mall, and one couldn't stop staring at me at Jollibee. Why he was mad to see you, man? I don't know why they be staring, but yeah, I know what you mean. Humana. Oh, Humana, you're talking about the insurance company? I need to check into that stuff. Oahu Dude says, yeah, black guys look cool on the dance floor by just standing there. That's true. Hey, can somebody give Frankie a hug, man? He's getting on my nerves right now. Can somebody get that man a hug? Because I think he needs it. He really does. Somebody get that man a hug for me. Somebody open up your arms nice and wide and give that man a hug. There you go. Hey, Frankie, that's for you, my brother. That's for you, Frankie. I'm giving you a hug right there, buddy. And I hope that you're having a good day. Because you're really boring me and I ain't got time for your shit. Somebody get Frankie a hug for me because he looks like he needs some attention and I'm just not in the mood. All right. My man 010 in the building. What's going on, family? He says, salute to all of you. He said, salute all. Where the hell is Davo? I'm serious. You know, 010, man, you need to kick yourself out the chat, man. Come back in and come back in with some common sense, man. Davao City is probably about an hour and 40 minute plane ride from Manila. Davao is the province. Davao is the province. So yeah, you should check out Davao. Nobody knows that. I don't know, dude. Davao's on the map, yo. Don't act like y'all don't know. Y'all trying to make me feel bad though, like my place ain't the shit. But that's Dumaguete, right? Out. You could say the same about Dumaguete. But everybody knows about Dumaguete, but nobody talk about Davao. That's the problem. And that's just sad. So again, guys, I'm not mad at you for not knowing about Davao. That just means more for me. And Dr. Mike is gonna milk it to the day that he dies. Cause that's my place. I can't see myself being anywhere else, guys. I'm sorry. I can't see myself being no other place but Davao. All right. Ah, man, you guys are great, man. I see we got 23 individuals watching. Let's make sure we get the likes up on the video. That would definitely make me happy. I don't have my IPA shirts listed in the chat. I mean, in the description area below, but hey, it's all good. I missed it. I dropped the ball. Hey man, everybody want to shit on black people, man. We coming up, man. I think we're the new hotness now. But it's all good. I'm not mad if you hate. Oh man, let me see. I actually think I would like the province and from the sticks in America anyways. Okay. Yeah, you'll love the province. And when I say province, I'm not talking about just the backwoods and like nothing but rural area and trees and shit. Davao City is provincial, but you still have a lifestyle that is there. So you can enjoy it, no doubt. Hey Jay, appreciate you spending some time with the good doctor today, man. So I appreciate you coming through. Yeah. Liz, you funny. Liz is telling me to shut up about Davao. She don't want none of y'all there. Yeah, man. Davao's the place to be. I'm only gonna tell you guys one time and one time only. My man Jaws, he been there, and I'm glad that he enjoyed his time there because at least he's like one of very few people that can actually vouch for me and say that the information that I gave him before he went to Davao was actually accurate, and that works for me. You know, you can ask him if he's still in the building. He's like the first person that I've ever given advice to, especially when it came to Davao, and he said that everything I said was exactly right. Surprised the shit out of me. It surprised the shit out of me. Oh my god. Somebody give Frankie a hug, bro. Please give that man a hug. You killing me, man. Damn. He's still crying. I'm telling you guys, that man need a hug, yo. Get that man a hug. He needs some attention. Can somebody give him some attention? Hey, Frankie, I'm gonna have to tell you something, brother. I'm gonna have to tell you something. We like you over here. You're entertaining as fuck. All right. You make my day. When you come over here talking shit, I love it. It makes my day. But I'm gonna tell you something. Class is in session. And when class is in session, you got two options. If you don't know how to act right, I'm gonna put your ass in timeout. Okay? That's first. If I put you on timeout, then you still come back talking that bullshit, then I'm gonna have to just boot your ass and send you to the administration office, okay? So you got two options. You can sit there, be a good boy, or I'm gonna put your ass in timeout, or I'm gonna just kick you out. You know, you got two options. Let me know which one you want, please. Let me know which one you want. Because when class is in session, you do not disturb. You feel me? When class is in session, you do not disturb. When Dr. Mike is trying to conduct a lesson, I do not like people who disturb my lessons. So if you ain't gonna be a good boy, like you supposed to, sit your ass down and shut up, like good people do, then I'm gonna have to put your ass in timeout. Give you a chance to come back and join the team. I'll give you a chance to come back and join the service. But if you feel like you can't, if you feel like you can't get along with others, then I'm gonna have to just kick your ass out. I'll tell you right now. Nah, let him do what he does, man. I'm telling him, he got one time. He got one more time. He got one more time. Then that ass is going in timeout. That's pretty much it. So my man John says, yeah, it was right. He said, I wish I had the names of the hourly hotels because my Airbnb wasn't ready. Went to the Eagle. Shit. Mm, 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 mm. See, people just get on my nerves. He just needs a moment. I told if you don't shut the hell up, man, he gonna be put in timeout. Motherfucker don't know how to listen. Now his ass gonna get booted, and then that's it. His good. I'm telling you, man, you got one option. You can either cooperate with the chat or get the fuck out. That's pretty much what it is right now, man. I ain't got time for no shit today, man. I'm too damn old for this shit. So John says, yeah, it was right. Wish I had the names of the hotel. Yeah, he said he went to the Eagle Museum in SM Eckler. That's pretty dope. Nah, he good, man. He gone now, man. This shit get on my nerves. He got 300 seconds on timeout, man. If he come back talking that shit, then I'm just gonna boot him. I told you, you got two options, bro. You got two options. You can act right or just get kicked the fuck out. That's the two options you got. Come back with a new channel if you want to. That channel's gonna get booted too. I ain't got time for your nonsense, man. I'm trying to have some fun with my people, man. Don't be talking about the ice cream, man. I do have the milk bars though, Liz. The Dairy Queen milk bar shits. Them shits is dope. But yeah, man, homeboy needed some time. I'm telling you, he got time to come back though. I'm gonna give him a chance to come back. If he come back talking that shit, I'll just boot him. I'm just letting you know right now. I don't have time for it. Come back with that racial shit or whatever you feel like is not working to your benefit or whatever. And yeah, I'll just kick you the fuck out. So you got two options: act right or get the fuck out. Hey man, stop talking about my internet girl, man. That was a private moment that I shared with everybody, and everybody trying to get on me about that shit. It's all good though. Ah, shit, man. I think I'm good, man. I think I covered everything that we need to talk about today, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go on and get about your go to sleep, or get your day started or whatever it may be. I'm gonna let you guys go and have your moment. So you know what I do before I cut out? I'm going to shout out every last one of you motherfuckers because I need to make sure that I give you guys some love, man. All right, so shout out to the my lady Liz. We always love you. Best in attendance whenever you make it. Appreciate you coming through. Robert Wyman, I appreciate your family. Fed up, thank you for coming through, man. I hope you feel better. Rain Man, thank you for your one-liners. I was reading them. Don't get all in your feelings because I didn't read them out loud. Sometimes I gotta scroll through the chat and get to questions and shit because I'm always late when I go through the chat. 010, thank you very much. Who else we got in the building? Cam Y, thank you, my brother. Jaws, appreciate you, my G. Um, who else we got in the building? Damn, I gotta get all you guys. Oahu dude, appreciate you, my brother, for coming through, man. You had me cracked up today. You was talking some shit. World Traveler, as always, my man BGC Mike. Mike check 1 2 1 2. Appreciate you, my brother. John Davao City in this bitch. Appreciate you coming through. Jay and Cookie. Jay, appreciate you, my brother. If you guys are still with me, I'm shouting you out. If I miss your name, drop it down at the end. Eyes on. I appreciate you, my brother. Cam Y. If I didn't say your name, I'm saying it right now. I kind of felt like I may have said it, but I'm saying it again. Rona, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the channel. I know that John says hi and you say hi back. Y'all be having like full blown conversations with each other in the chat. That's what's up. Anti Gravity, as always, my brother from another, man. I appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. Terry Edwards, thank you, my brother, for spending some time. Mr. Wonderful, appreciate you coming through and showing some love. Oh man, I gotta get all of you guys. Shit. You know I can't leave. There is no man left behind. If you guys want to go ahead and cut out, this is roll call, unless I get some questions at the end of the chat that that I need to address. I'll definitely get to them soon. My man Tony Towers, appreciate you showing some love. Who else we got in the building? Make sure I don't forget none of y'all. I hope I scroll all the way up. Sometimes my thing don't make it all the way up if I click off of the screen. My man Derek Floyd, appreciate you, my brother, and I definitely appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate you. You always show love to the channel, man, and I definitely appreciate you for that. 100. My man, Papa Dappa Car Hauler. Love the name, man, and definitely check out Doom and Getty because I definitely want to check it out as well myself. My man MJ being a place to be. Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. Like I said, my man Derek Floyd, appreciate the shout out and definitely the support for the channel. Go. Thank you, my brother. Smooth Riffs. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love, man. People don't know why I do this, but I do this for a reason. Black Pablo, appreciate you, my brother. Sagus, thank you for coming through and showing some love. I think that might be it. Did I touch on everybody? I know my man, yep, Joe was here earlier. Then, of course, my man David Webb and Andy the Virgo. All right, guys, I've touched on all of you guys. I've touched every single one of you in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. Dr. Mike is sorry, but not sorry. So hey, man, I appreciate you guys showing some love, and I definitely appreciate everybody who came through and showed some love to your boy today. So with that being said, I had to go ahead and let your boyfriend go, man. Whoever decided to wife up my Philippines interest, man, can y'all make sure he gets a hug because he needs his attention. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know where all this animosity is coming from. I think he got hated on, and I think he was like that kid that was bullied. Now he feel like he got to be a bully, but he just don't realize he don't know who he fucking with. But I'm gonna let that man have his moment. I done got rid of his ass, man. If he want to come through with that bullshit again, by all means, please feel free. Everybody gets one chance on the channel before they get shut the fuck out. So with that being said, did I touch on everybody inappropriately? I got to make sure I touched all of you guys inappropriately. Hold on. I think I did. Rayman, I do appreciate your comic relief. You'll be all right, brother. You'll be fine. I don't give a. I don't care about these people, man. But yeah, Papa, I appreciate you coming through. Huh. Dude, didn't I already get rid of you? Shit. Ah, man. This guy's killing me. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. You can tell me I ain't fly. Yes, I know I'm super fly. Yeah, you be good to go, bro. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I had to make sure I did something real quick. Like I said, I got to make sure I touch on all of you guys inappropriately. Told you, man. Somebody give Philippines interest a hug, man. So let that man have his moment. He'll be all right. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, I think we're good, man. I was just reading comments. I apologize for dragging this on a little bit longer. So, again, I appreciate all of you guys who are actually welcome here on the channel for coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. You guys have been great. This has been a moment that we can all cherish and love forever. And with that being said, even those that hate, thank you. Thank you. You're the greatest, man. You guys make this shit so much fun for me. And with that being said, Dr. Mike is officially out. At least Nicole. Hey, my man Steve was in the building. What's going on, family, man? I'm glad that I caught you before I shut down, man. You know I always stop the show and show some love to my man Steve in the building. Thank you, my brother. Has always been around since day one. Been around since I had like 50 subs, man. Always an avid supporter in the background, supporting the channel and taking care of your boy. So I appreciate you 100%, G. Thank you for coming through and showing some love, dude. I'm gonna stay on a little bit longer because I think somebody needs some attention. He does. Somebody give that man a hug for me. That's a good one, Rain Man. He probably didn't change his depends today. That's probably why he's sitting in his own shit, feeling a little bit selfish. He'll be all right. Yeah, the medication's not kicking in yet. I don't know. Ain't it like the middle of the day though? Shouldn't he be out with Bama or some shit like that? I mean, ain't y'all like buddies and shit? Shouldn't y'all be out there hanging out together instead of you sitting around here playing with me? And now I know why you hate though. See, time out. See, I'm trying to leave and shit. I said my goodbyes and shit, but he must want some attention. So I'm gonna give it to him. I know exactly why people were hating on you in the past, man. I know your history, dude. People was giving you the shits back in the day. Yo, don't worry about it though, cause he was getting shitted on, man. He was getting bullied on YouTube, and it was kind of funny, cause even Ren was talking shit about you. Ren was like, "Bro, you were jumping from topic to topic. I had like a 20-minute conversation, and you were just on a whole nother level with your shit and stuff." Everybody knows about you, man. And you can watch the videos and shit, man. Nobody really gives a fuck about what that man got to say. He's kind of like a joke around here. That's the sad part, man. Bro, you're a joke. Dude, he's a joke. Dude, they were shitting on you for a while. Dude, people were dedicating whole live streams to your ass because you was lying about being in the Philippines or being in Hawaii and some shit or whatnot. Yeah, I remember your history, bro. Your history. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. When we first met, I did watch your videos. Of course I did. I had to because you came to the channel, right? And I said I was going to show love to your channel. So what did I do? I went over there to your channel and watched it because that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a new YouTuber that comes and shows love to the channel like you did in the first place, of course I'm going to watch your videos. That's what a YouTuber is supposed to do for other YouTubers. Support their channel. So I was showing you love. But now you come over here talking shit and coming out of left field and talking to your boy sideways like you want that action. But I don't think this is what you want, bruh. And I'm telling you, people were talking shit about you, dude. They were shitting on you. That's why you disable your comment section. That's why nobody can like your videos. You want to know why? Because you're tired of being bullied. But you come over here trying to pop off at that shit like you really wanted with the good doctor. And that's cool. I'm telling you, if you want that work, you can have it, man. I'm going to give it to you 100%. And I'm not talking about fighting, man. I'm going to give you these words. Because at the end of the day, you're lame as fuck. Like, dude, you're lame as shit. How are you on since 2014? I've only been on since 2017, but I got double your subscribers. That don't make no sense. And I'm a small fucking channel, bro. I'm small. But if I was on in 2014, I would definitely be putting in that work instead of worrying about everybody else and what they do. I would probably be more concerned about what I can do to benefit and better my own channel instead of talking about other people's shit and what they do. Okay. So if you want that work, I got you, bro. I really do. I know. I'm kind. I gave you an extra view on your videos, man. That's one extra view. And those one extra views that you got is courtesy of me. So thank you. I mean, I think a thank you would be in the works, but I can't even get a thank you. I can't even get a fucking thank you. See, Dr. Mike go out there and support other channels and shit, and I get shitted on my own channel. You gotta love it, man. Sometimes people just want some attention, and I'm gonna give it to you, bro. I'm gonna give it to you. I ain't call you poor, but whoever else called you poor, who knows? Yeah, you'll live though. But everybody give Frankie a hug on the way out because I think he needs it. Cause he was bullied though. Frankie was really bullied though. It was kind of sad. Kind of made you feel bad for him. They dedicated whole radio shows to you and talking about all of the bullshit you did, how you got scammed and set up by all these girls you were dating. And they were talking about you, bro. Type of person I am, I love to do my research. You don't understand. I'm an observant person by nature. So don't think just because I don't know about you that I don't know about you. Because I don't speak about you doesn't mean that I don't know shit. I just don't care. But I do feel sorry for you. I feel very sorry for you though. I do. I feel bad for you. Oh yeah, don't think that just because you're a hater. Fuck, you're over here my live stream, so you must be a fan too. So that works both ways, people. Thank you very much. Somebody get that man some medicine. And with that being said, Dr. Mike is officially out. At least Nako. Paalam, which means we are going now. Bye bye. As always, I love you guys. Mahakita. Mabuhay. Peace.